Hello, hello, hello everybody. I hope we are all well and ready for our fabulous Friday. Well, if you have a look on my table today, we're going full on gold. Used to be one of my favourite songs when I was younger. This one came about actually because I was doing a bit of a sort out at work, and I must have had a student that was doing gold stuff, and I actually found the box of all my gold bits and pieces. This was actually from when I did my City and Guilds and we had to look at gold work, and I just thought, oh, a bit of bling makes you feel very, very happy. So what have I got in my stash today? So I've got some really tiny little seed beads. Obviously got a bit carried away when I bought these. There's hundreds of the damn things. I'll never ever use those, I don't think, in my whole lifetime. I've got some sequins. I've got two different types of sequins. I've got ones that are like with the little hexagons in, and then I've also got some teeny tiny ones that are just really, really flat, so they're really pretty. And then I've got a couple of tubes left from when I was doing my gold work, so I've got three of those. So they'll be quite nice to use. I've got different bits of gold cord. I've got a bit of gold elastic and some rope. It's got things inside it. I've got a really lovely ribbon. These are gorgeous because they're sort of thin, but you can pull them, and they open up. The weave sort of opens up so you can stretch them, so they're really, really nice to use. A couple of different threads. I've got some more gold elastic, and then I've got gold safety pins and a couple of bits that I found when I go like to junk shops and things like that. I picked up some bits that come out of watches. I thought, oh, that'd be quite interesting. I might use those as well. I've got a little bit of crochet, I think it is, that's been dyed gold. Little gold safety pins, and then some yellow quilting. So this is what I've decided I'm going to base my piece on. It's which one you go for. So I quite like this one because it's got some really lovely worn areas. It's really soft and tactile, so I think I might go for that one today. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's get it cut. So I've got my background piece to start working on. Excited to do this one. I don't normally do blingy things, but because I've found my stash and because I'm not a blingy person, I thought, what an ideal opportunity to use up some of that bling. Makes you smile. Okay, so I've got my piece of fabric, so go for whatever you want. It could even be something contrasting. You might go for a black piece and then have all the gold really shining out. You might actually have gold fabric and you want to go so it just looks like the sunshine. So what I'm going to do, you'll notice I've not got any other bits of fabric because I'm just going to play around with all the bits and pieces that I've got. So my idea was that I could put on like some of these bits, and then probably using couching more than anything is just start looking at how I could start laying these shapes on and just really just start playing around just with the bits and pieces. So these are actually watch faces. I can still see the numbers on them, so I don't really want the metal bits sticking up, so because it's a quilt I can sort of push them back in. Oh, now could have that down first, and that could go over the top. Or actually I might not use the flower, I might just go quite abstract and just let it all sort of meander. Do I go circle, square, or both? Oh, I might go both. Quite like them like that. Okay, so can't do any pinning with this, you've just got to go for it. So I need to fasten that down. So there's a number of different ways I could do it. I could stitch out the hole and go out, but I quite like the face on the thingy. what's it called, on the watch face. There we go. So I'm going to use a beading needle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up the middle. I'm going to get a sequin, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a tiny seed bead and use that to stitch it on. So if I come up, I've got my sequin there, so that goes over the top. If I get my little bead, tiny bead, and then go back down just go back down there. Now because I'm putting that on its own, I'm going to knot it on the back. Knot it on the back. There we go. So I've got that one on. And I'm going to do the same with the other one. So I'm going to overlap it slightly. Now, I'm not going to be able to get my 12 the right way around because it's going to catch. So that doesn't matter. Overlap that one. Okay, do the same. Then I'm going to come through the middle. So there's loads of different ways that you can fasten things on, but I'd like to challenge everybody to try and find something unusual to attach to this one. Something that you wouldn't normally stitch down. You can stitch anything down really, but let's see what random things everybody could find that's still based on the theme, like gold. There we go. So I'm going to do the same. Just catch that on the back. The reason that you just do this and stitch and do a knot is that if something goes wrong on the front and the thread comes undone or anything like that, it's only that bit that falls off rather than everything falling off. Okay, right, so I've got my basic bits on there, quite like that. So I'm then going to go in, I've got a little bit of this gold, so I think I'm going to start couching this down. So this one's going to be quite a challenge this week because we are not planning and pinning. We're just going to see what you've got and just go for it. Now there'll be some of you out there that probably have done gold work. If you want to do gold work, the traditional gold work, please, I'd love to see it. Please feel free to have a go at gold work. I had to go at all gold work, black work, white work, things like that, and I learnt a lot from it, but I quite like breaking the rules. So what I'm going to do is try and space out my stitching so it's about 1 centimetre off. This could just be a thicker piece of thread, or it could be a double bit of thread, it could be gold wire. So I'm just beginning just to couch this down. I'm just going to come down this side. So I'm going to do quite a bit of just couching. I'm just going to do a double. Probably would have been easier if I'd have doubled up my thread. It just means then it's not going to move. Then we can just do lots of different sorts of things on it. Oops. There we go. Right, if I want to turn a corner, I need to do a stitch where I want it to turn so that it's going to hold it in its place. So again, a couple of stitches. And I'm going to bend that. Stitch it again. If you think it's going to move or it just needs a little bit more stability, then obviously do more than the one stitch. Okay. Right, I think I might just come straight off with that one, and then I've got a little bit of gold, then I can bring it back in at the top. So I'm just going to start off with some lines. If you don't have anything to couch on but you've got a gold thread, just do like a back stitch or a chain stitch. Just use what you've got. Ideally that's what this project is meant to be about, is just seeing what you've actually got in your own stash. I'm not expecting anybody, and I'm trying to do it so that you don't have to go out and buy anything else. Obviously there might be some bits, it depends on how developed you are in your stash building. I'm fairly well developed. I thought I was very, very well developed in my stash building until I've been and seen a couple of my friends' stash, and I think, oh, there's a lot more stuff I could be getting. I don't need anything else. That's been the only advantage, I suppose, in the last couple of years, is I've not added to anything really, apart from any bits of stuff that I've bought online. I have just managed just to stick to what I've got. Right, I quite like the idea of that coming back in from this side. But actually, straight away, it's making me feel a little bit like an electrical circuit board or something like that. Don't know why. Something electrical or mechanical, I suppose. So let's work out where I want to bend it. Oh, I just love doing stuff like this because there's no planning. A lot of my work, I end up with photographs, doodles, developing ideas, and then sitting and making something. The bit that I'm loving about all this is it's actually doing stuff. And what I find happens, it's one of the things that I try and say to the kids at school, is it's very hard to think about what you want to do if you just sit and think. If you just pick up something and do it, and there doesn't have to be a purpose for what you're doing, your mind then actually, it sort of starts tuning into what you're doing. And there's been lots of these tags that I've done that have given me loads of ideas for my own work, and it gives you an excuse as well to have a go at stuff that you might not normally do. I know there's been a few of them where a few people have messaged me and going, oh no, I hate that stitch, or I found it really, really difficult. But it's good to challenge yourself. If we don't challenge ourselves, we're not going to learn anything new, and then you can end up getting stuck in a rut, and then you get a little bit fed up with what you're doing, and then you get cross because you're fed up because you're not doing. It's like a vicious circle. Whereas with this, if you just give your brain that chance just to stop for a second, just to stop and just think, right, what could I be doing? What could I be doing? There's lots of things I could be doing. Just give yourself that chance. Right, I found these 3 tubes oops, which I think are great. I'd forgot I'd got them. 1, 2, 3. I know you can cut them to different sizes, but I love how they're so long. I just wondered if they'd go right across. Don't think they're going to fit across. Don't know if that's the right thing that I want to do, or do I just have them 1, 2, 3. I quite like that, because then I can stitch. Oh yeah, that's nice. I like. Oh, hold on. This is when I said, oh, we're not planning today, and then this is when you say, oh, I want other bits in. Oh, and I could have one of those there. Right, okay, let's just go for it. Okay, so because I'm going to put these on, I will do a knot again at the back. This is where your beaded needle comes in brilliantly, because they're bent, whereas a normal needle won't necessarily bend through the tubes, but your beading needle will. So if I take that over, then on the back, so there's going to be a lot of knotting on the back today. The last thing you want when you've done all this is to catch a little bit with your scissors or something, and then everything else falls off. Don't really want that. There we go. That across. This is so not like me. Lots of bling. Oh my god. Sorry. I don't know if that just disappeared then off your screen. I was a little bit engrossed in what I was doing. I do apologise. Okay, so we're beginning to add my bars on now. I do want to put a safety pin on, but I like things in odd numbers, so I think I'll leave a gap and then pop another. Oh, safe. Oh, I quite like that as well. Right, okay, so I am going to leave a gap. Leave a gap. Where does that go in? That's going there. So I'm just going to put that through, just through the back, just take it through. Okay, it's coming up. There we go. Stitch that down. So this one's just using that beaded needle. Way! It's swinging. And now I want to start getting some other bits down. Okay. Oh, sorry. My laptop decided to sing at me. Turn the speakers off. I apologise for that. Okay. Right, so stitch that on. Knot it off. Okay. Right. Safety pins. Actually using the safety pin and stitch it through your piece, and then you can just do a little couple of stitches just to hold it in place. Just pop that on, so that one will go there. Now then the decision is, do I go there? Oh, I think I need something in another direction. Put that on at the edge. Put it in. Put it through. Now I've probably got a lot. I'm busy looking at everything thinking, oh, what could I put on next? Because I put that gold cord on, I really like that. And I suppose I'm just wondering if I start adding other thicker bits, that is just going to be a little bit too much. So I think what I'll probably do is, I've got a goldy coloured thread, so I think I'll do some stitching. So I'm going to do some stitching, and then I'm probably, I think, go to town a little bit with all the sequins and have all the sequins be coming out and round, and some stitching and things like that. So I think those are probably all the bits that I'm going to add, as in couching down and fastening on for my gold, and then the rest of it is going to be sequins and stitching. The sequins I'll put on the same, so I'll do a mixture of the little ones with the hexagons and the flat ones, and then I'll use the beads to catch them down. I quite like that. I know that you can put them on and then you can stitch around them, but I just want the blinginess really to come to town with all that. So that's going to be our next one, which is All That Glitters Is Gold, and I can't wait to see everybody's bling. See you soon. Bye.